Good day once again, learners. We had been looking at the sources for activity 4 on the economic crisis. I'm now explaining the questions to you for you to work on. Remember the rules when answering source-based questions. Firstly, understand what the question is asking you by looking at the instruction. If it says study sources L, M, and N, it means refer to all the sources. Also, if it says explain, that means tell me more. Look at the mark scheme. The first question as an example, 1 times 2 means 1 answer for 2 marks. One other thing to remember, you must use words from the question to answer. So let's look at the first one. Explain what an indirect tax is. If you recall my instructions, I said use words from the question. So you would start by saying an indirect tax is, and you would complete your answer. Remember to answer according to the mark scheme. So for 2 marks, you need to write 1 sentence, maybe 1 to 2 lines. So your requirement for the first question is to explain what an indirect tax is. Go back to the recording before this, where I'd explained an indirect tax. B, why is it a problem to collect more taxes indirectly than directly? This again I explained in the previous lesson. Remember, related to the method of collection. 4.1.2. Why would any attempt to reduce the expenditure or spending by the royal court, the king and his family, not have made a difference to helping solve France's financial problems? Here you are required to answer by giving 2 responses for 3 marks each. I want you for that in particular to refer to the pie graph under source M and look at the expenditure for the royal court. This will give you a clue. Compare it to the expenditure on the other 3 aspects, the civil service, the army and the navy, and the interest. And you should be able to draw conclusions. What they're really asking you is, if we took away the expenses from the royal family, that's 6%, why would it not have made a difference to solving France's problems? The next question, explain how the data, now data or data is processed information in source L, supports the information in source M. What they're looking at here is the graph in source L showing you income and expenditure talks to you more in source M, in those pie graphs, the information there. 2 answers for 2 marks each. How does one support the other? So for example, if you look at the expenses in source L, it's giving you information compared to the income. It's more than 600 million francs. I think it was francs they used at the time as well. And you compare it to the expenditure shown in source M, and you can see where all the money was being spent. So look at those 2 and make the comparison there. 4.2.1, how did Calonne propose to disregard the differences between the nobles and the commoner? They are asking you here how the French finance minister was going to close the gap between the taxes of the very rich, that's the nobles, and the commoner, that's the people from the third estates. 1 answer for 3 marks, so 2 to 3 lines there. And then the last one, explain why this plan was bound to run into difficulties. That's not difficult to answer because you are looking at the upper classes. They are going to be told to make a change in their lives. What is that change? And why would they not accept the change? Learners, a reminder, keep your work neat and always legible. Use a dark pen. The answers must be clear so you do not disadvantage yourself. Remember, you are preparing for grade 12.